Hello, trading is closed on June the 14th, 2017. My last calls, I was looking for an early low and a late high. I said the pattern usually had a positive bent, but you couldn't depend on that because of the Fed announcement. I said there could be either a big drop early or a big drop after the Fed announcement happened. When the Fed makes its announcement, there's typically a three-leg whipsaw. First leg, followed by a second leg, which is further away from the point of the announcement, followed by a third leg, which is further away from the announcement still. That's been completed, but the first move, which was down, typically telegraphs the way the market's going to move next. For tomorrow's pattern, I look for an early low, a rally attempt in the afternoon, and then a drop towards the end of the day. MEJT had a few calls early on. It's ultimately both lower and higher prices would print. Typically leads to a wishy-washy morning, which is what happened. All these F's mean the moves are false and it should retrace, and they all have. So there's no new MEJT target for tomorrow. There's a lot not to like in this chart. Not shown is the fact that the industrials hit a new high on the day when the transports dropped. That's Dow theory sell signal. The point of the Fed announcement was here. It's a resistance level. You have a wall into the close, unrestrained buying at any price. It's not the way smart money tends to move. This is a pattern which usually closes at the day's high, and this low usually holds. When either one of those things happen, it usually leads to further drops, gapping up over this high, or at least gapping up and going over this high promptly would invalidate that, but I think it's pretty unlikely at this point. If I'm correct that the big drop is starting here, and if it's going to start tomorrow, ideal confirmation would be to gap under this low, or at least gap down and take it out promptly. I think there's a reasonable chance of that happening because it would show this whole rally attempt was a false move. If we can't take this out early, I think the next most likely thing is we close, little change, and have the big drop later on. This is a very negative pattern, as we've been saying, and all we need for some confirmation that the big drop is starting is to take this out promptly. In any event, unless we gap up tomorrow and take out this high, I look for lower prices with a chance for much lower prices, and that's today's call.